The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Police officers accused of extorting tourists. Preventable tragedies, USMC blasting inadequate jet ski enforcement. And more drama from the House of Assembly, the Speaker refusing to withdraw a claim that Pintar, the opposition leader, maligned her. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be here, filling in for Duquesa Dean today. Also, this morning, we're going to be talking with Master Blender in town for a special event this week. And later in business, our monthly Chamber Hour series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We'll be talking about their upcoming business mixer and the latest news on the Chamber's 4th annual Chamber Classic Golf Tournament and a whole lot more. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a police officer and another man arrested by police for allegedly attempting to extort an American man at the Nassau Cruise Port. The Royal Bahamas Police Force confirming yesterday the incident unfolded after an American man made a complaint to police Sunday. According to the police statement, as a result of investigations conducted by the Complaints and Corruption Branch, a 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old man have been taken into custody. The duo scheduled to appear before the magistrate's court today to answer charges of extortion. So according to the statement, the police force reassuring the public that the matter was thoroughly investigated, fairly and impartially. It says, quote, the force maintains a zero-tolerance approach to criminal conduct and unethical behavior, including extortion and any actions that violate the laws of the Bahamas, established policies, or the professional standards expected of its members. It says that any conduct that undermines public trust or brings the organization into disrepute will be addressed decisively and in accordance with the law. After issuing a new security alert warning, American citizens against jet ski rentals, the United States Embassy in Nassau yesterday saying that decades of inadequate enforcement of the watercraft sector in the Bahamas, the personal watercraft sector, has caused preventable tragedies the embassy criticizing officials' sporadic oversight of the area. In a press release, U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, Herschel Walker, called on the Bahamian government to activate the Watercraft Task Force, which was formed last year, and enforce existing regulations and take the necessary action to regulate the sector. In its security alert, the U.S. Embassy noted the history of alleged sexual assaults by some watercraft operators, as well as numerous accidents that have occurred on the water. According to the embassy, 2 American women reported being sexually assaulted by jet ski operators this year. The embassy security alert was released alongside a public service announcement from Walker, who in the video warned Americans about the serious dangers associated with jet ski rentals, including the risk of injury and sexual assault. The alleged teenage victim of a sex crime is now facing a perjury charge. Prosecutors say the 17-year-old lied under oath on March 11th when she testified that she never had sexual relations with Van Miller, a New Providence resident. The teen, who was represented by Alicia Delancey, denied the allegation at her arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe Friday. She was granted $3,000 bail, and her trial is set for September 16th. Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Basil Cumberbatch asking the trial judge to recommend perjury charges immediately after the minor recanted her previous testimony and police statements. Due to the discrepancies in her evidence, Justice Neil Brathwaite directed the jury to acquit Miller on March 13th. Prosecutors allege that Miller began an unlawful sexual relationship with the minor in 2021 when she was just 12. The illegal relationship allegedly continued until March 2023 when they were found together late at night. A 24-year-old man is alleged to be responsible for 2 separate murders in New Providence. Prosecutors say that Uskander Jean was one of the gunmen behind a triple shooting at Constitution Drive on June 7th that killed Edward Major and injured Kenneth Woodside and Devon Woodside. 28-year-old Malik Hanna of 3rd Street faces charges of abetment to murder and attempted murder, as prosecutors allege he helped Jean carry out the crimes. Jean is also accused of the mating of Algernon Stubbs in Elizabeth Estates. Stubbs was headed home when the occupants of another car riddled the vehicle he was in with gunshots. Both men were not required to enter pleas to the charges when they made their first court appearance before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans on Monday. They were denied bail on October 1st for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. House Speaker Patricia DeVoe refusing to withdraw her claim that FNM leader Michael Pintard maligned her in a social media post referring to a U.S. criminal complaint that alleges that Bahamian politicians facilitated the movement of cocaine shipments through the country. Pintard, in a Facebook post last week, noted that one of the allegations in the complaint is that a politician met in the Parliament building with a drug pilot and an undercover DEA agent. He was critical of DeVoe's shutting down the opposition's calls for an investigation and for the matter to be addressed in the House of Assembly. In the House yesterday, DeVoe accused Pintard of attacking her integrity, saying, quote, "I will not allow these halls to be used for what is wrong." Pintard saying that DeVoe's accusations were inaccurate and asked her to withdraw her comments. DeVoe refused to withdraw the comments. In a statement that followed the exchange, Pintard said he's happy to let the public decide who is telling the truth. In the complaint, which has prompted outrage in some sectors, a special agent with the DEA, Michael Coleman, alleged that Jonathan Eric Gardner, a Bahamian man who was previously convicted of drug trafficking in the U.S., was moving tons of cocaine through the Bahamas with the protection of Bahamian government officials and high-ranking politicians. Overseas, Iran's top diplomat saying today that the tentative deal to end the war with the United States would require Israel to withdraw from Lebanon, a condition Israel has said that has rejected and that could sink the agreement, leading to the resumption of all-out war. The deal, which is between the U.S. and Iran, has not been made public, and officials have sometimes offered contradictory interpretations of what it is. While Israel is not party to the agreement, it is part of the war. It joined the U.S. in launching strikes on Iran on February 28th and has since fought the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group in Lebanon and seized large swaths of that country. The Iranian foreign minister said Israel's continued occupation of southern Lebanon would violate the deal. Meanwhile, Pakistan, a key mediator, has said the deal called for an end to military operations, including in Lebanon, as Iran long insisted. A U.S. official who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss outlines of the agreement has said the deal did not call for an Israeli withdrawal, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Monday that Israel would remain in Lebanon as long as necessary. U.S. allies at the Group of Seven summit of major industrialized nations working today to push the war in Ukraine back up the agenda of U.S. President Donald Trump after more than 4 years of fighting sparked by Russia's full-scale invasion. The Iran conflict has in recent weeks overshadowed the war in Ukraine that Russian President Vladimir Putin launched. Host President Emmanuel Macron of France says he'll seek to persuade Trump to continue supporting Ukraine and increase pressure on Russia to help reach a peace agreement. As the U.S. under Trump has cut back aid to Ukraine, France and its European allies are now the biggest providers of military and financial support to Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky joined G7 leaders for a morning working session, but talks wrapped quickly as leaders gathered for just 75 minutes, according to the French G7 presidency. And a 6.7 magnitude earthquake shaking parts of central Indonesia today, injuring at least 8 people, causing scattered damage and rattling residents of an area devastated by a quake and tsunami just 8 years ago. The strong shaking sent people fleeing into open areas. Several hospitals evacuated patients, some outdoors as a safety measure. 3 regencies close to the epicenter, with a combined population of 1.2 million, have yet to be fully assessed. At least 8 people were reported injured in one area and rushed to a nearby hospital, including 2 with serious injuries, according to the National Search and Rescue Agency. Some of Cuba's sickest people are feeling the effects of the U.S. energy blockade, with surgeries delayed, kidney dialysis treatments disrupted, and children with cancer facing a higher risk of death. That's according to a report published Monday by Cuban state-run media. The survival rate for children with cancer has fallen to 65% from 85% before the energy restrictions began in January, according to that report released by Cuba Debate. It also said 100,000 children younger than 7 are no longer receiving the daily liter of milk previously provided by the state, and that the country's 16 vaccine immunization program for infants is at risk. Additionally, it said another 100,000 Cubans are on waiting lists for surgery, and the treatment schedules of nearly 3,000 patients requiring kidney dialysis have been disrupted. Regarding medication, 300 of the 395 essential medicines produced on the island are unavailable due to a lack of chemical components required to manufacture medications. Cuba provides free universal health care, but the system has been pushed to the brink as a result of resource challenges and shortages, fuel scarcity, and power outages that can last more than 20 hours. And Congolese authorities have reported one of the highest daily increases in Ebola cases in a month-old outbreak as the virus spreads quickly in a remote region whose shifting population challenges efforts to find those exposed. Congo's Ministry of Health saying Sunday that 72 new cases were reported in a 24-hour period, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 782. Those include 181 confirmed deaths, with 29 new ones. Congo's health ministry says that while the numbers show the outbreak is spreading rapidly, it also reflects more active surveillance and that community members are reporting suspected cases and response teams are investigating them.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, for the first time in her career, Bahamian professional women's basketball player Jonquel J.J. Jones will play in the WNBA Commissioner's Cup championship game, 3 with the New York Liberty and the other with the Connecticut Sun, with whom she spent the first 6 years of her career. Jones and the Liberty secured their ticket in the championship game with an 86-64 win over the Washington Mystics in Brooklyn on Sunday. The Liberty remain undefeated at 5-0 in Commissioner's Cup play this season. More on that in today's Guardian sports section. And the Bahamar Resort Foundation raising more than $300,000 at the 4th Bahamar Resort Foundation Golf Invitational over the weekend at the Royal Blue Golf Course at Bahamar. The event, once again, a rousing success as its Golf Invitational attracting a number of golf enthusiasts, sponsors who collectively came together for a fun-filled day of competition. The Luxury Resort has touched different sectors of Bahamian society with the proceeds from the event. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section as well. From World Cup soccer or football, the coach of Iran's World Cup team says it was ordered to leave the U.S. and return to its training base in Mexico, only opening its politically charged tournament by playing to a 2-2 draw with New Zealand Monday night. The coach didn't say who ordered the Iranians to leave earlier than planned. The team had expected to spend the night in California to maximize the normal recovery process after its opening game, only to be told after the match that everyone was immediately get on a plane for the 140 to Tijuana. Through an interpreter, he said, quote, "They didn't even give us time to recover." The Iranians' World Cup cycle has been in upheaval since the U.S. and Israel began a war against Iran on February 28th. Iran ultimately decided to compete even after FIFA rejected its request to move its 3 group stage matches out of the U.S. The Iran captain is saying that the team endured 5 hours of travel and security checks during what's normally a very short trip from Tijuana to the Los Angeles area on Sunday. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a heat advisory in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. That includes New Providence, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, the Berry Islands, Andros, and Bimini. Everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, limit strenuous outdoor activities, and seek shaded areas during peak daylight sunshine hours. Also, high pressure will continue to dominate the weather across the country, supporting mostly stable conditions, but also hot temperatures and light to moderate breezes. Lingering moisture combined with a low-level trough near the northern Bahamas will lead to an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity across that part of the area through this afternoon. So there is a slight risk of development of a few strong to severe storms over the northern and northwest Bahamas today. And again, it's going to be hot. The UV index expected to be in the very high to extreme range. And they're dealing with the heat index as well in the triple digits. A slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed beaches, and beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should exercise caution. Coastal residents are also advised there's a marginal risk of coastal flooding during evening high tides through to Thursday. So your forecast for today, the extreme northern islands looking at variably cloudy conditions with occasional cloudy periods, a 30 to 40% chance of showers with isolated thunderstorms, winds south to southwest to 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. The rest of the country, including the northwest Bahamas and New Providence, looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, mostly fair tonight. A 20 to 30% chance of showers with isolated thunderstorms for the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 20% chance for the southern half of the country. Wind southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times. For the northwest and central Bahamas, southeasterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts for the southeastern islands. Temperatures today, highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's as hot as 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78 Fahrenheit, 25, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics. We're watching something in the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to tell you about that in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Plan for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Are you a tourism business owner or ready to become one? At the Tourism Development Corporation, we work with tourism entrepreneurs at every stage, turning ideas into thriving businesses and helping existing ones grow. From business development support and funding opportunities to targeted initiatives and strategic partnerships, we're here to help you take that next step. Build your future in tourism with the Tourism Development Corporation. Visit tdcbahamas.com to learn more.
Tired of putting life on hold every time the power goes out? Get a Kohler generator from Lightbore Marine and enjoy life without interruption. We stock generators for your home, business, or job site. Need a new generator for your boat? Take command with Kohler's extensive range of marine generators. With 40 years experience, Lightbore Marine has you covered with parts, service, and the best manufacturer's warranty in the industry. See how a Kohler generator can enhance the quality of your life and the success of your business at Lightbore Marine, 63 East Bay Street. Visit us at lightboremarine.com.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you. Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Guess who's back?
It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hoops instead of guns.
Game time.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable, friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printings. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 30.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Wake up and cash in with Everybody Wins Live. For the entire month of June, every purchase made between 6 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. at participating stores gives you a chance to win exciting prizes, surprise rewards, and qualify for our early bird morning spend.
Slay.
Catch those early hours, play big, and have a shot to win even bigger in the month of June. More hours, more fun, and more opportunities to win. Only at Everybody Wins Live, where the early bird always wins. Terms and conditions apply. Remember to game responsibly.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 4224796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Join me now, Laverne Gardner, filling in for Duquesa Dean. Good morning, Laverne, on a Tuesday morning.
Dwight, good morning to our listeners on a Tuesday morning.
Good to have you with us. Duquesa will be here on Thursday. All right, so a lot going on in the news. We'll get to that in a bit. But also this morning, this is interesting. We're going to meet Twinings. Twinings is very famous, all right, for tea. And the master blender is in town. We're going to meet him today and talk about why he's here. Later, it's our monthly Chamber Hour series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. A lot of things going on. They're going to tell us all about it this morning. So that's what we've got in store on this Tuesday morning. But let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, a lot going on, a lot to talk about. The headline, the NASA Guardian, Preventable Tragedies. This is based on a statement coming from the U.S. Embassy about jet skis again and calling for more enforcement again on the personal watercraft industry in the Bahamas. Again, after the saying that 2 American women were sexually assaulted this year. I don't remember if we heard about that from the police, but we're going to get into that in just a bit. There's another big story that is developing, and we're going to learn names, but the police force issuing a statement about this, about an extortion investigation. So I'm going to read the statement from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and then we'll delve a little bit deeper into this. So, police provide update on extortion investigation. The Royal Bahamas Police Force is providing an update regarding an extortion investigation initiated on Sunday, the 14th of June, 2026, following a complaint made by a male United States national concerning an incident at the Nassau cruise port. Should I reserve comments until we read the whole statement, Laverne, or can I just interject? Yeah, no, okay. After?
Read the whole story and then.
Sure. All right. As a result of investigations conducted by the Complaints and Corruption Branch, a 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old male have been taken into custody. Both individuals are scheduled to appear before the Magistrates Court on the 16th of June, 2026 at 10 a.m., that's today, where they will answer to charges of extortion. The Royal Bahamas Police Force wishes to assure the public that this matter was investigated thoroughly, fairly, and impartially. The force maintains a zero-tolerance approach to criminal conduct and unethical behavior, including extortion and any actions that violate the laws of the Bahamas, established policies, or the professional standards expected of its members. Any conduct that undermines public trust or brings the organization into disrepute will be addressed decisively and in accordance with the law. Members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force are entrusted with upholding the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and accountability as outlined in the force's code of conduct. The force remains committed to maintaining public confidence through transparency, ethical policing, and accountability at all levels. Okay, that's a statement. 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old male. Now, that's the way they wrote it. 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old male. They did not say that the other person was a police officer, and that's what we've reported in the Nassau Guardian, but for some reason the Tribune's saying that he's a police officer. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
So is the Guardian saying that both are police officers?
No. They're reporting exactly what the police said in their statement. A 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old male. That's all it says. Yeah.
Whatever happened, because I'm hearing it when you first read it, my mind immediately went to, was that last year? I'm thinking it was.
I know what you're talking about.
With
Yeah. So let's read the Tribune's article. And so now again, I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know if they have additional information. But anyway, they're saying two police officers are expected to face extortion charges today after United States tourist complained that he was targeted at the Nassau cruise port. A case Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles called embarrassing for the force and the country. The Royal Bahamas Police Force confirmed that a 23-year-old female police officer and a 27-year-old male police officer, that's what they're saying, were taken into custody after the tourist made an extortion complaint on Sunday, June 14th. So can I add my comment
Yes.
Yeah? Because you see the speed with which this has taken place.
Absolutely.
That was Sunday and it's Tuesday and people getting charged. What's the key difference here? United States national. I tell you, we've got to start claiming that we're Americans in order to get justice in this country. That's the only way.
We talked about that before.
We talk about it all the time. But when are we going to get it? Do we get it yet?
But there's seemingly a difference.
It's quick. Because if you made an extortion complaint, it would take how many years? Anyway. Okay, let's get back to the story. Both officers are scheduled to appear before the magistrate's court at 10 a.m. Commissioner Knowles told the Tribune the allegations strike at the reputation of the organization. And this is something that is causing embarrassment to our organization and eventually to the country. So it's quite possible it is another officer. It is acts like this that we even warn our officers about. What do you mean even? There's no need for any officer to believe or to act in such a manner where you are in contravention and also the law. Police say the Complaints and Corruption Branch investigated the matter after receiving the complaint. The RBPF said it maintains a zero-tolerance approach to criminal conduct and unethical behavior, which you read before. All right, so the case comes months after police officers were referred to a police tribunal over a separate incident captured in a viral video that appeared to show an officer trying to solicit a bribe from a tourist during a traffic stop. At the time, Commissioner Knowles said police became aware of that incident through social media, prompting an immediate investigation. 2 officers were removed from frontline duties and placed before a police tribunal. Oh, okay. Interesting. The video, posted on TikTok by a tourist from Miami, showed officers conducting a roadblock near St. Matthew's Anglican Church off Shirley Street after the visitor was stopped while riding a rented scooter. In the footage, an officer appeared to suggest the matter would be worked out, or could be worked out, rather than ticketed, and comments widely interpreted as an attempt to solicit a bribe. Oh, yeah, really? The officer was also heard cautioning the tourist to move out of view of other officers during the exchange. All right, so 2 officers were removed from frontline duties and placed before a tribunal. And where does it stand now?
Right. That's what okay. So what happened then? Or what's been going on since then?
Okay, let's get your reaction to it. I mean, it's going to court today, but we've got a pattern. It's clearly established. We've got a pattern here, many patterns. Officers are not above this type of behavior, and that, again, if it involves a foreigner, a tourist, the action will be much swifter than if Bahamians are involved, whether there's video evidence or not. But let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. Boy.
Anything, and while, I'm sure people will be calling in, but anything further on our case? Any update?
What do you think?
Just asking a question.
I'm sorry.
Be so
I'm sorry. It's just that, it's just been extremely frustrating. No? No. Let's go to this call. Good morning, caller. What say you?
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, it appears that there's selective justice on the police force, but because one case ended up to the tribunal and the next one ended up in in the court, right? So that means the people in the tribunal they can get their job because they ain't nothing about no tribunal.
Why are you saying that?
Because the track record didn't show it, Dwight.
Maybe they have a backlog. I don't know.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah, I can use it can be a backlog, right? Yeah, but when you go to court, those officers would go to court if they be found guilty, they can lose their job. Yeah. So to me, it appears as a selective justice because everybody could see the extortion live on the what you call it on right. So for them to even suggest anyway that didn't deserve or warranted those police officers to go to court, to me is selective justice. So Royal Police Force, y'all got to do better, man, because too much police running afoul. Too many police is running the file. We have wonderful police officers on the police force, and some are very highly respected. But too much police officers are running afoul. You have a nice day, boy.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take this other call. Good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, are you there? No. Okay, call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. 242-300-5720. Let's take this other call. And caller, you are live on the air. Hi, good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning. I hope you both are well.
Morning.
I listened to the statement you read, and the thing that came to my mind was what exactly is the reputation of the Royal Bahamas Police Force in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? And word on the street is it's the biggest gang in the Bahamas.
Oh, no.
That's the word on the street, the biggest gang in the Bahamas. But, I leave that one there. But when you have junior officers doing certain things, they learned it from somewhere. They need to check some of them senior officers, too. And that's the fact of the matter. Junior officers believe they can get away with it because they've seen senior officers get away with it. And as much as we would like to hold them up to be honorable, the fact of the matter is the police officers come from among us. And amongst us, a lot of people who believe the expression, thief from thief, God smile, which is a criminal mind.
Wow,
But that's who we are as Bahamians most times.
You're throwing a lot of rocks today.
Big rock.
Wow. Oh, boy. Okay. Thank you for the call. Really appreciate it. My goodness. She hit plenty of people.
But it's true, Dwight. It's true. He didn't, these people, these officers come from amongst us. It's not like they're separate somewhere. They came from amongst us. It's true. So,
My goodness. Got a lot of text messages coming in. We'll get to those in a bit. Let's take a couple more calls. There's a whole lot more to talk about on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're live.
Hi, morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, morning. I think it's Laverne. You have one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good morning.
how you doing? Yeah, I think it's a couple of things, right? Number one, if you don't have any integrity, number one, it's going to show. So it starts from a personal view of having integrity. But two, I think it's also a cultural thing in terms of the society kind of breeds it, because we as civilians kind of feed into it when we don't want a ticket be written, or we want to wiggle out of things. And that opportunity arise for some level of extortion. We feed into it. We want our police records a little quick, so we'll send a little tip so we don't have to wait. We want that traffic record to come out real quick, so we'll buy some little lunch. Wow. And so we as a society kind of feeds, we condone it. And then when things like this happens, we throw rocks at the officers, notwithstanding that they have a level of responsibility. So it's a cultural thing. So if society or we stand up, or we consistently report these instances when it happens, you will see then some of the action of the officers be curving. But because it's the norm, they feel like they can get away with it. And I would put to that probably officers or officers. This time they're getting caught. It's not the first time they've done it. It's just a matter of them just getting caught. But I'll hang up there.
Yeah. No, great points. We created this monster. We created this monster.
Yes,
Wow.
great points for the last two callers. Absolutely. And it's true, right? This is what happens in this culture. So it's a cultural thing. And that's why you feel so comfortable now approaching whomever, right? Whether it's at a traffic stop or it's at the Nassau Cruise Port. You feel comfortable saying whatever you say, because this is cultural, unfortunately.
Wow. Got another call. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Morning.
Yeah, Dwight, you have so much things to discuss this morning, but then I guess I don't have the time, or I don't want to preempt you. But in respect to that female caller, I keep hearing this term, Dwight, and maybe you could shed some light on it to me, because I definitely don't understand what this term means. Honestly, they come from among us. What does that mean?
I mean, you don't understand it?
I don't hear what you say.
You don't understand it? These are...
No, I don't understand it, because because it seems as if that every time everyone, it seems like when certain people who are in authority commit a crime, even the politician, we always say they come from among us. What does that mean, though?
We
have good, upstanding Bahamians who come from among us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then when the
but you had ones too.
What does that mean?
You're overthinking it. But these monsters were created. As she said, they're learning this behavior. As the previous caller said, this is expected. This is expected in many circles, that you have to have money to give this guy that. You have to have a little extra because you got to pay a tip.
It seems like you want to give someone a pass, or that be all here.
No, I don't think that's what that means.
Yeah,
but what they're saying is, if you want better cops, be better people.
That's what that means?
Pretty much.
I thought that means that we don't have no one here who has integrity, so maybe we may have to start looking at important other nationalities to hold these positions.
Well, wow, that's a big reach.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
You were running hard to get away from her rocks.
Yeah, man.
It seems that way, but then anyway.
You went far. You went far with that.
I'll listen. I'll continue to listen. But that term, it comes from among us. It either you want to give these people a pass, or it seems as if that you can't find no persons, no Bahamian, or once they get a position, chances are they would, when the talk will be, they come from among us. But I don't understand.
No, that's not what that means. And
hopefully, what it really means, right? If I can interject here, is that we need to begin to search ourselves.
Yeah.
And see what kind of people we want to be, what kind of reputation we want to put out there, right?
Yeah.
And so it isn't about anything other, because I feel like you were really reaching caller. But the fact of the matter is, these are Bahamians. So what we're saying is, some foreigner isn't doing it to us. We are doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out what it is that we want to be known for and known as.
And we need to
and then
start...
we have to,
We just start
Go
doing
ahead.
some psychological tests on our people as well. Like
I
start
meant
with
to
the
ask
children.
you that, like,
But I
like-
mean, no, from an early age, put children in a scenario and see how they would respond. If you found this here, what would you do? No one's looking. What would you do? And keep doing the test to see where we are and see and how you learn this behavior. And the responses wouldn't be very different with the adults, I guarantee you. But this is because they're learning this from the older people around. So that's what that means, Cleaver. Not nothing too elaborate as what you were suggesting.
I'm going to say something. And people are going to get upset. But I'm going to say it anyway. From the time you could go in the food store and you could eat a half a pound of grapes before you pay for the grapes, and you sharing the grapes with your children, that's the problem.
Absolutely. And when you're running all those red lights with the kids in the car seat, well, hopefully they're in the car seat. They're probably not. In the back seat, right? They are learning all that from you too.
Yep.
So.
All of these things, you are sending messages. Right? I really have a problem with that. Like, when my kids were younger, they could tell you, we went into the food store, and it's like, no, it's you. That was the rule. You pay for it, and you eat it.
Wow, that's a good
But
one.
it sends a message.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Yeah.
You know, all this, be testing the grapes to see how sweet it is. You eat one, you eat two, then they have to taste two. Then you put in the trolley, eating the grapes in. Boy, these sweet, eh? Okay.
Crazy stuff. Some text messages before we get back to the callers. This person says here, have we gotten any update on the officer and the cutlass incident?
Still waiting.
Yeah.
We still waiting. We are gonna continue to ask, but we are still waiting.
They don't believe Bahamians when we complain about police officers, but foreigners are believed, and immediately the cases are dealt with. Well, especially if they're cameras. The Southern District of New York was saying that Bahamian police officers are corrupt for a little while now. Now, do we believe them? I mean, what are you asking silly questions for?
Listen, we were offended. You remember that?
Who was the we?
There was some.
Who's the we?
You know, there was some offensive.
Oh,
pushback.
okay. Okay.
Like, don't use this one incident to malign everybody. There was some serious pushback.
Those people work for. Anyway, the reason it went to the tribunal is because there was no complaint or no complainant. The video was posted on social media, but a complaint was never made. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I see. Laverne, what is this? You ever buy a police officer lunch before? That's the question for you. I don't know why they're asking you
No,
that.
never. I have never bought a police officer lunch before. Never.
I mean, this is lunch in order to get something? That's what you're asking, Texter? Or a friend who happens to be a police officer? This is a very vague question.
I have never bought, listen, Dwight, friend or no friend, I have never bought a police officer lunch before.
Boy.
Never.
Wow. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there?
Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lemoyne.
Morning.
And good morning, Bahamas. Why, I can come on a little rough. I keep telling you, but you look like you won't be listening to me. Chinese shot 2 top generals last month for corruption and coarseness. The Philippines tell their people, any civil servants and anybody who doing corruption, fool with people money, will go in a firing squad. We got plenty laws in our books in this, right? And we don't enforce.
Well, those aren't any of them.
Plenty laws, a million laws.
Why you
see,
okay.
Bahamian people look like when we do wrong in this country, we just get promoted. We don't get fired. We get promoted and make the movie for one place to put it next place. But when people call our country up, plenty people with marvelous, food like the way I'm saying, But Dawkins was to go in New York and say that. He should have said that in the Bahamas. We know we got a lot of corruption all along in this country. Dwight, we got to enforce these laws. And I will give the commissioner of police a kudos right now, because I like, I see all the borders is beautiful island. The island look like they clean up now, I'm thinking they're doing a good job. And I see the police officer, ASP, superintendent, doing an excellent job booking these people. All these fancy cars riding up and down here, like in these short. Keep up the good work. The bus drivers, I say, you're doing an excellent job. And you also say, Dwight, we got to start off with the politicians and the civil servants. That's the only way we can get things run in this country. And the Bahamas is a good country. A good, rich country, that's bad management from both the PSP and the FNM. And time to take my call, buddy.
Okay. Interesting perspectives. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're live. Hi. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. You're live on the air.
Yes. Dwight, Laverne, how you doing? Alan Johnson.
Hi.
Morning.
Dwight, let me. I want to answer Cleve's question that came from amongst us, but just let me say that the policeman just should have declared himself MP, and that would have been an untested allegation. It came from amongst us with a paper I wrote, right? I'm going to shot it in about 90 seconds. Criminality and corruption are not strangers at the gate. They have reflections of us in the mirror. They are born in the gaps between what we preach and what we permit, between the laws we write and the behavior we reward. Until we confront the culture that protects wrongdoing, we will keep arresting symptoms while reproducing the disease. Criminality is not merely what happens in the street. Corruption is not merely what happens in government. Both come from amongst us. They survive because someone benefits. Someone stays silent. Someone looks away. Someone calls it normal. What we permit today become culture tomorrow. Culture we have today is what we permitted yesterday. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. One more call, and then we'll get to your messages, and there are a few other stories we want to get to. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there? No. Okay. This texter says here, I don't know where the commissioner's been over the past year, but acts like this have been rumored for decades. I was personally called and asked to bring money to have a friend released from a ticket violation lockup more than 15 years ago. I said, that's illegal. Then the brain kicked in and said, hey, you're speaking to a police officer. Then they quickly hung up. Wow. Someone says, I don't know what we are complaining about because we seem to like corruption. In this country, people defend and just elected someone who ran an... okay, and yes.
But Dwight, you're missing some words. Dwight, you're missing some words in that text.
So having some technical difficulties. Anyway, there are lots of people who have been involved in illegal activities. Yes, it's, and no one sees anything wrong with it. Go figure. Well. They're calling all kinds of names, Laverne. I don't know why they're doing this, but they're calling names to say we are normalizing criminality. We learn early which receipts to present to Bahamas Customs. Oh, boy.
Come on, man.
Oh, boy.
Now, come on.
Oh, boy.
Hey. Okay.
Yes, ask the kids to hold the right ones. We do need to look in the mirror. I fully agree with you, Dwight. We need to study this. Yeah. Why don't you request a meeting with the commissioner to voice your concerns about the Village Road shooting?
Was it a shoot? Was it a shoot?
Yeah, he shot the man dead.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right.
I was requesting me. I mean, I'd like to have the commissioner on the show. We're going to see if we can work on that. But I mean, to have a
work
meeting,
on having her, her on the show.
Who was nowhere near, don't even know these people, must request a meeting to voice my concerns about the police and off-duty officers shooting someone dead in the street.
That's a person.
That's
family.
okay.
I mean, family.
Wow.
Anybody out there?
Y'all are
Is there
special.
anybody out there? Is there anybody out there who may have been related to the gentleman?
They spoke.
Are you able to maybe
the day after to
give
the
us
Tribune,
an update?
But wow, okay,
Nothing since that.
Okay.
I guess we better call the Tribune and see if the Tribune have any updates.
Or request a personal meeting with the commissioner. Okay. Anyway,
Well, Dwight, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea for you to invite the commissioner of police to
Yes.
be a guest, but
Yes.
and also we can make that one of the questions.
Oh, that would be probably the first. But anyway.
Well,
this texter says, police stopped me for turning left on red before it was legal to do so.
okay.
And then forced me to buy them food. Sorry. The duty sergeant.
How they force you?
I don't understand.
Couldn't you just have insisted, give me the ticket?
The duty sergeant was complicit because he wasn't doing his job. But I'd rather buy the police a meal than have to go to court. Oh, man.
Okay, see? Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Dwight, people tip government workers for quick service. Can I tell you the government requires a tip also for quick service? Do you remember when the practice was started, whereas you pay $200 for an expedited passport? Yeah, that was a bad idea.
That is.
That was a bad idea. It's still happening,
Doesn't
right?
that still?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want expedited service.
This person says, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm not sure if it's a wage gap issue, but something needs to be done. Would you believe that we have officers that drive unlicensed vehicles and give ordinary citizens traffic tickets? Double standard to the highest degree. Well, anything goes. Everything goes. If it doesn't happen here, it doesn't happen anywhere in the world. A good article on corruption was in yesterday's paper and its future effect on the Bahamas and its history. Okay. When potential police force and defense force, recruits are vetted in their neighborhood, the residents give high praises for them, knowing full well that the person being vetted are not of good character. Oh, my. Oh, my. That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Wow.
This texture says,
So have you ever had to do that, Dwight?
No, I haven't had to do it.
That when somebody asked you for a character reference, maybe for a job or whatever.
Not on the police force or defense force. Now, someone asked me for a business person who wanted a fire. Yeah, that was challenging. This person says here, I bought a police officer breakfast, lunch, dinner, house, car, and more, all because of a traffic stop. What? What?
You lied.
And I also paid $1,500 per month for 18 years. What's going on? What are we missing here?
Yeah. I don't know. I think
did you
that's
marry
a little
that
bit
person?
more.
Maybe they married
Yeah,
that person.
that's what I'm saying.
So
Maybe they married that person.
You feel that you are okay.
Maybe it started with a traffic stop and it blossomed into a relationship. I don't know.
Right. Do you need help? Blink 3 times. I don't know. Are you okay? All right. The same one who caused me to fumble on that text. I've always admired your reading ability, but for some reason you got stuck on a few of my words. LOL. Yeah, you better believe it. With great power comes great teething ability. Wow.
Oh, wait, man.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So they're explaining the texter. Yes, unmarried and child support.
All because of a traffic stop.
Well, you have no one to blame but yourself, it seems.
Yeah.
Wow. What are we going to do, folks? What are we going to do? This is.
He or she, whoever the texter, should have just paid that ticket.
This is rough. We've got a serious situation. We'll see what the details come out in court this morning, what we're going to learn. But, this won't be the last time. But as somebody's saying, with the ubiquitousness of the cameras now, I mean, this type of behavior really should be very rare. But we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that at all. People seem to be emboldened. They're doing more things than ever before. So this is scary. This is scary. And I guess if you can bribe somebody, tip somebody, you might be able to get away with it. So We got to go to the news. We'll be back. A whole lot more to talk about on this Tuesday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
It's Tuesday, June 16th, 2026, and you're listening to the Guardian News Network Morning Report. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:22, it's time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by the Disaster Management Authority. The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season is here, and the Disaster Risk Management Authority wants to ensure that you are prepared. They're hosting a 2026 Hurricane Preparedness Expo on Saturday, June 20th at the Mall at Marathon. Hurricane safety experts will be there with tips to keep you prepared, along with vendors from Alive, Galena General, and more who will offer giveaways, prizes, and surprises. Mark your calendars. Saturday, June 20th at 11 a.m. for the Hurricane Preparedness Expo. And visit getready.gov.bs for essential updates and be hurricane ready. So here's what's happening with your weather for today. We've got heat advisory in the northern and northwest Bahamas. That includes New Providence, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, the Berry Islands, Andros, and Bimini. I think we said that already. Yes, everyone should be alert and remain hydrated and limit outdoor activity during peak sunshine hours. Additionally, high-pressure ridging will continue to dominate weather across the country, supporting mostly stable conditions, hot temperatures, and light to moderate breezes. But lingering moisture combined with a low-level trough near the northern islands will lead to increased shower and thunderstorm activity across that part of the country through this afternoon. Over the next few days, the broad Atlantic Ridge will remain the dominant weather feature throughout the remainder of the week, supporting hot and humid conditions along with moderate to locally fresh breezes. Strong daytime heating will trigger isolated showers and a few localized afternoon thunderstorms. So there is a slight risk for strong to severe storms over the northern and northwest Bahamas. And again, we're dealing with the UV index and the heat index, all in the high to extreme range. Slight risk of rip currents as well along Atlantic-exposed beaches, and coastal flooding possible during evening high tides through Thursday. A lot going on. So for today, your forecast, a mix of sun and clouds, turning fair tonight for most areas. The extreme northern islands, though, looking at variably cloudy with occasionally cloudy periods. A 30 to 40% chance of showers with isolated thunderstorms for the extreme northern islands, 20 to 30% chance for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, and a 10 to 20% chance for the rest of the country. Look for high temperatures around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make you feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78, 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for tomorrow, Wednesday, we're looking at partly sunny conditions, turning mostly fair at night with about a 20 to 30% chance of showers and afternoon thunderstorms. It's going to hold for Thursday. And by Friday, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, 10 to 30% chance of showers or isolated thunderstorms. And that should remain the same for Saturday into Sunday. In the tropics, we are watching an area in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, a trough of low pressure located inland near the Texas-Mexico border. Right now, that has a medium chance, a 60% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 7 days. We'll continue to watch that in these early days of the Atlantic hurricane season for 2026. But that is your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. $8:26, time for another check of traffic brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. So we've got a few hot spots for you this morning. We're seeing heavy traffic on Independence Drive. That's between the roundabouts at Blue Hill Road and East Street. That's mainly eastbound right now. Some slow-moving traffic on the westbound side, but eastbound looking pretty busy for you. And at East Street, heavy traffic for you northbound from Soldier Road straight through the roundabout with Independence Drive East-West Highway up to Robinson. And that's, again, mainly northbound. On the Blue Hill Road side, not looking too bad for you this morning. Just some slow-moving traffic near Carmichael Road. Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you north of Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. And on the eastern end of Robinson Road, we've got heavy traffic from the intersection with Prince Charles Soldier Road all the way up to Marathon. Old Trail looking busy for you at this hour as well. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Need cover you can count on? You can buy motor insurance your way. Stop by your nearest branch or visit nuainsurance.com. Simple, secure, and ready when you are.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
What you gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on a Tuesday morning, filling in for DeQuesta Dean. DeQuesta is going to be here on Thursday. But Laverne and I are having a great time talking about what's in the news. Coming up in a few minutes, though, we're going to meet the Twinings Tea Master Blender. Looking forward to that conversation. I don't see any tea. We'll work on that. Later in business, it's our monthly series of Chamber Hour with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. A lot going on with them this month. So that's all ahead. But we continue with what's in the news. We've been talking about this matter that's expected to go to court today with 2 people charged with extortion. Police officer, well, at least one is a police officer. And getting your reaction to that. But there's a lot more in the papers today, Laverne. It's just a lot going on in our country.
Yep.
Wow. So this is in the Tribune. They're reporting that a Bahamian student found stabbed to death in Florida. A 21-year-old Bahamian student in Florida identified by authorities as the suspect in a double stabbing. The suspect? Wait, now.
Wait.
Okay.
What?
No. Wait.
Okay.
So let's read this again.
Go back.
Suspected. Yeah. This is Bahamian student is the suspect in the stabbing, in the fatal stabbing incident. Well, okay. 21-year-old Bahamian student in Florida identified by authorities as the suspect in a double stabbing near the University of South Florida before he was found dead hours later at a nearby apartment complex.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is a complicated story. Wow. Hansel Pearson of Grand Bahama is suspected of stabbing his roommate and another person during an early morning attack at this apartment complex in Tampa last Wednesday, according to Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responded to the apartment complex around 4:30 a.m. after a man called 911 and reported that he and another person had been stabbed. Both victims were taken to the hospital and were listed in stable condition. Authorities said Pearson and one of the victims were roommates in the University of South Florida, and the other victim had no affiliation with the university. Investigators believe Pearson was responsible for the attack, which happened near the university campus during the early morning hours of June 10th. Later that afternoon, detectives opened a separate death investigation after Pearson was found dead at some apartments about a mile from the stabbing scene. Wow. A relative mourned Pearson's death in a Facebook post describing him as her grandson and saying he had left her with much pain in her heart. She wrote that she believed that he had been reunited in heaven with his late father, adding that the loss made her feel as though she'd lost two sons. Wow. That's rough.
Yeah.
Boy. In The Guardian today, this story continues to just be disturbing. Teen denies perjury charge after giving evidence that helped accused molester. Our Tisa Davis writing about it. The alleged teenage victim of a sex crime is now facing a perjury charge. Prosecutors say the 17-year-old lied under oath on March 11th when she testified that she'd never had sexual relations with Van Miller, a New Providence resident. The teen, represented by Alicia Delancey, denied the allegation at her arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Kara Turnquest DeVoe on Friday. She was granted $3,000 bail, and her trial is set for September 16th. So Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Basil Cumberbatch asking the trial judge to recommend perjury charges immediately after the minor recanted her previous testimony and police statements. Due to the discrepancies in her evidence, Neil Brathwaite directed the jury to acquit Miller on March 13th. Remember this. Prosecutors allege that Miller began an unlawful sexual relationship with the minor in 2021 when she was just 12. The legal relationship allegedly continued until March 2023 when they were found at night. So this is getting a lot of attention. Perjury.
He recanted her testimony.
And he was freed. But
he was freed.
But this relationship was allegedly going on for a long time.
Right.
What should happen here? Let it go or prosecute her to the fullest extent of the law? What say you very quickly? We only have a few minutes on this. Laverne, I want to hear from you, but callers, call us as well. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's go to the call. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Is that me?
Yes, you're live.
A godly day to you and of course Dwight.
Oh, wow. Raymond, we haven't heard from you in months.
I've been listening. To you.
Okay, welcome.
So what I want to say, right, pertaining to the police in which you all were speaking of earlier, the thing is, somebody made a statement that he came from among us. The thing is, if his parents, he had not been taught by his parents not to do wrong things, steal for people and stuff like that, you should make a statement, nobody should make a statement saying that he came from among us, because a lot of us in the Bahamas doesn't see it and doesn't teach our children to do wrong things. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. Well, when people say that, I don't think they mean every single person, right? But Yes, a lot of people have parents who teach them right
I
versus
think
wrong.
we already explained
Yeah.
what that statement
You
means.
do have free will, personal
Correct.
choice, especially as an
Absolutely.
adult. So many people stray from what they were taught when they were younger. But there are a lot of people who grow up learning that it's okay to do some underhanded things, and that's all that the caller was suggesting.
Okay, so here are my thoughts
Yeah.
about this case.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. If she has recanted her testimony and she's saying that everything that was said and it's not true, they never had a sexual relationship, she lied under oath, then she has to recognize that there is a penalty for um, doing that, but essentially ruining, damaging this other person's life by accusing them and everything that has happened. And so there has to be consequences for that. The other thing is, if she is now saying this because somehow she was convinced, I'll just say it like that this is the route that she should go, and you'll probably only get a fine, but you don't want to send this man to prison. Because sometimes that does happen. I'm not saying that it did happen. I'm just saying that if that is the case, then she also needs to see again that she is being the victim because she's going to sacrifice her reputation, her life, so to protect this man who clearly don't care about you and who clearly has a problem because he's a pedophile.
Indeed.
So those are my two things.
Yeah, I think you said it well. Let's take these calls quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
You had a guest or caller on some point in the past that mentioned the power of social emotional learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that it's very much lacking when what it does, how it builds empathy across diverse cultural backgrounds. Think about that for a minute. And leaders of countries don't see how beneficial being able to build empathy across cultural backgrounds. That's exactly what the Bahamas needs. And since we are putting our heads in the sand and pretending as though we could get by without educating our persons how to be empathetic, how to also respond to, Dwight, I tell you a case in point. Accident happened to me, bam. Persons who ran out to help me did not speak my language, but those who across the way who spoke my language were just watching. Some people have it inherently, I guess. Some people need to get it. But I think we need to push that learning in our school system.
Oh.
Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, appreciate it. One more call. Good morning, you're live.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi.
Yeah, man, Dwight. When it relates to that case you're talking about with the young lady, right? Do we have any rehabilitation situation to address cases like this? Because I don't think why she have to face some type of penalty. I don't think prison will be something she should have to go through. I don't think that would be the appropriate. I think she needs to be rehabilitated from some form of rehabilitation, some psychiatric treatment, but I don't think prison would be the remedy for because the prisoning or rehabilitate.
Sure, I get you.
Like that.
But it should go on her record.
Yes.
Yes.
She has to pay now. I mean, there's have to be some type of penalty for it, but I don't think prison, because if she goes in the prison, then we could just get right off for the rest of her life.
My goodness. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Really quickly, just want to mention this interesting story here, and Laverne, you and I, sort of talked about it yesterday, but we discussed this on the show yesterday. The Privy Council ruling, very disturbing story involving a woman who had been unlawfully detained by immigration, and what happened to her. and the Privy
And
Council assaulted and held as a prisoner almost, and raped just for a couple of days, just by a immigration officer. So the Privy Council ruling that the government is liable for this. So there's an article in the Tribune about this. Our friend Attorney General Wayne Monroe added again with interesting comments, saying yesterday the government will pay damages to Claudia Edwards Bethel's estate after the Privy Council upheld the state's liability for her unlawful detention and rape by a senior immigration officer, saying, quote, some things are more important than sorry when asked about calls for an apology. That might be true. That might be true, but I don't know if you should say it like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, let's move on.
What, you don't want to hear more?
Let's move on.
I mean, maybe if you hear it in context, what he's trying to say, that might make it more palatable.
It doesn't matter.
No, you sure?
No,
I'm going to read just
really
a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Go ahead.
His comments coming after Human Rights Bahamas President Stephanie St. Fleur demanded an apology, a public apology to Edward's family, to Edward Bethel's family, following the ruling. The Judicial Committee on the Privy Council upheld a decision finding the Bahamian state vicariously liable for the unlawful detention and rape of Claudia Edwards Bethel by former senior immigration officer Norman Bastian in 2014. The case will now return for the amount of damages to be assessed. Monroe said he had not read Human Rights Bahamas' statement, but acknowledged that the government is liable for damages, saying, quote, the government position, as I understand it, was advised by counsel. I don't believe a Bahamian argued in front of the Privy Council, and the issue was whether the government is responsible for that sort of conduct. Privy Council ruled against the government, as did the Court of Appeal, and so the government will pay. Some things are more important than sorry, proper compensation.
Still, it's no better. Yes, some things are more important than sorry, but sorry can be part of the compensation. And
that's
I
true.
Agree
You
with
could do both. Yeah.
Now, you can do both. You can publicly apologize and also compensate. But what I also want to know is he still on the job? Is he still an immigration officer?
He couldn't possibly be.
That'll be interesting, Dwight.
No, I don't think
that
so.
Would be interesting.
I think he's in jail, I believe. Yeah.
You think so?
I'll get the details.
Okay.
But Immigration Director Stephen LaRota says he would be prepared to apologize to the family, but only if advised to by the Attorney General's office.
Right, didn't I tell you to not read this story anymore?
If you remember in the article yesterday, Wayne Monroe represented the immigration officer in that matter.
Correct.
Before he was an MP and a cabinet minister. But interesting times.
Why does the Minister of Immigration need permission from the Attorney General's office to apologize? If now the Privy Council has already said that the government is liable, what is there? So it isn't as if, this is, I don't want to apologize because this is an admission of guilt and it's before the courts. No, that the government has already been found liable, guilty, whatever you want to call it. They've already, according to the minister, going to compensate the estate. And why do you need now to get permission from them to apologize? To apologize on behalf of the Department of Immigration, because these are things that we don't condone. This is not what we train our officers for. Right? I'm sorry you read that.
Well, just keeping you in the know. Just keeping you in the know with what we're dealing with here. All right, so we're going to the break. Let me read these messages as we go. The Immigration Office should be made to repay the government for compensation paid. I don't know if that's how it works. Why should the taxpayer pay? Okay. Back to the other matter. I agree with the perjury charge. In my personal opinion, he was guilty, but I could also be wrong. If she was willing to destroy a man's reputation and life, then there should be consequence. On the other side, while I feel bad for the young child, really, if she recanted to protect him or was pressured, then she has become complicit to protecting his crime. If we want this kind of abuse to stop, all parties have to play a role. Okay. Comments about Wayne Monroe, can't read those. We got to take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
And awake to find that you're not there. What do I do to make you want me? What have I gotta do to be heard? What do I say when it's all over? I'm sorry seems to be the hardest word.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola are giving you the chance to experience the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, July 3rd through 5th. Upgrade any premium lunch combo to a large with the co-product for your chance to win. Win cash prizes, travel vouchers, or the grand prize, a VIP trip for 2 to Essence Fest. Grab a Dave Single, Asiago Ranch, Chicken Club, or 3-piece tenders combo today. Eat big, sip Coke, win big with Wendy's and Coca-Cola. Rules and restrictions apply.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Protecting your home is a must, and nothing protects homes better than genuine hurricane windows and doors from Storm Frame. Don't be fooled by those who want you to believe that theirs is the same as Storm Frame's. They're not. With products built to withstand hurricane and salt air exposure while providing superior security and energy efficiency, we are the calm during the storm and have been the Bahamas' premier window and door supplier since 1999. So before you shut that window or close that door, you must visit Storm Frame Windows and Doors.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, they're the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. We're changing gears now, talking about tea. And Twinings Tea's Master Blender is in town. We've got Rishi Deb with us. Good to have you with us. Welcome to the Bahamas. Good morning.
Morning, Dwight. And it's an absolute pleasure to be in lovely Bahamas.
All right. And we also have Duran Burrows with Horizon Distributors. He's the brand manager for Twinings. Good to have you with us as well.
Good morning, Dwight. Thanks. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
All right. So, a master blender. Tell us about that. How were you always fascinated by tea? How did this come to be?
Yeah, Dwight, I grew up in India, and I grew up in the tea-growing regions, which is a beautiful part of the world. It's called the Duars, which is in the foothills of the mighty Himalayas. And that's where my love for tea started as a young boy. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to be in the tea plantations, and somehow, just living my dream. So, wow. But yeah, in terms of master blender, I didn't know what a master blender was when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But certainly, it's a job, and it's a I wouldn't consider it a job. I would say it's an honor and a privilege to represent such a romantic commodity and such a wonderful brand. And of course, I can talk about what a master blender does, but I'll wait for your questions.
Yeah. So how did you get to that point?
Essentially, it takes a lot of dedication to become one. So one needs to learn from peer-to-peer learning. So if you look at it, it takes about 10 to 12 years in terms of the training. And when we talk about training, this is about senses. So we need to be the masters of taste. There's a lot around quality and how we evaluate, and tea grows in numerous countries around the world, and we need to know about how it grows, how it tastes, what are the different types of teas. And the world of botanicals is fascinating. It's a highly commercial job, so we should be able to value teas. We should be able to create. A master blender is a creative force. Mm-hmm. A master blender also needs to know about consumers and customers. So here in Bahamas, what do the people love? So, what kind of products do we make? What kind of products do we co-create? So it's a spectrum of stuff, but at the heart of it, it's about ensuring that we are the vanguards of quality for the brand and for what we make. So it's a lot of it, and it takes years to get the golden spoon, as we like to call it.
Wow. So is there only one Master Twinings, or
we have 12.
Okay.
So, and we would like to say that we have got differing experiences, and it's a collective experience of over 250 years, and that's what makes Twinings such a special brand, which has been in existence for over 320 years.
Yeah, wow. So how much tea do you drink in a given day?
Well, if I was just having a cup of tea for myself, it'll be of tea if I was 6. Wow. But what a master blender does is he's not drinking it. Mm-hmm. But I used to tell all my friends a joke is I spit for a living. So you drink about 400, 500 cups of tea. So you actually are evaluating it, and you don't drink it as such, but you have a slight swirl in your mouth, and then you spit it out.
Yeah. So are you drinking to ensure that the quality, or tasting to ensure that the quality is the same, so the same thing over and over, or are you tasting new things all the time, or is it both?
Right, it's a combination of things. So if you think about buying stuff, so that's when you're evaluating for quality. Does it fit into what do I use it for? How do I value it? And of course, you compare quality. The other part, as you rightly point out, is about creating. You go sometimes are seeing new things. It's like if you think about your cake, or you think about mixology, or whatever you like. Even if you want to mix music, how do I use it? Where can I use it in the world? So my world is the oysters. So we have to just evaluate it in different spectrums. So, but at the heart of it, you have to maintain consistency of quality. Right. And for something which is agricultural, that's pretty hard.
I can imagine. How has it changed?
Good morning. I have a question.
Okay, Laverne.
Sorry. Yes. 2 questions, really. First one is, what would you say, and that's for either one of our guests, is the most popular Twinings flavor in the Bahamas that you've observed? And the other one is, we do have a number of Bahamians that create Bahamian teas. Is Twinings considered maybe working with some of these locals and maybe having a Bahamian blend brand from Twinings?
Wonderful questions, and thanks for that. So in terms of talking about was the most famous blend in Bahamas. From my experience, I would say the most recognizable brand when you ask consumers around the world, what do you associate Twinings with? They would say Earl Grey, and there's a story about that.
Right.
And the next one would say English breakfast. But Twinings has got over 1,500 products around the world. So it is a really, I would like to say there is a tea or a botanical which is there for everybody. So dive in. So, and it is a very subjective thing. But those two, and the first thing. The next one is quite an interesting question. Now, when we think about what makes Twinings different is about, just coming back to the Earl Grey thing, is about customizable blend for a local population and taste. And that's what has made the company innovate over 320 years and be so successful. So yes, if you look at Earl Grey, we got 9 or 11 different types of Earl Grey, so many English breakfasts, and that caters to local taste. So if there was a taste we can co-create for Bahamas with the local people or artists or mixologists, we are always up for it. But at the end of it, it needs to be consumer-centric. It's got to be right for the consumer, right for the islands, and right for the brand. So we are always open for it. That's the philosophy on which we are built. So if I was to just tell you the Earl Grey story, back in 1832, the then Prime Minister, the Earl Grey II, actually was presented this black tea blend with some citrus fruit in it, and the envoy brought it back to him. And he took to Richard Twining, the then Twining incumbent in the business, and said, can you make something like this? And he made what was the Earl Grey mixture, now known as Earl Grey. Wow. So, and then you got so many variants. So just hopefully that answers your question, is we are forever looking for it. That's our innovation journey. How do we innovate together?
My goodness. Wow. So you mentioned it's an agricultural product that you're dealing with, and we know the environment has changed. What changes have you seen over the past few years when it comes to tea?
So in terms of what's happening with global warming and the weather systems, that's been quite devastating in certain parts of the world. So one has to deal with it. And also with that comes the price agriculture pays for the expansion of the human race, if you like. So there is a lot of encroachment into what are natural areas, and that means there's more pest infestation in certain countries, in certain areas in North India, for example. So one has to deal with it. And the resilience of the tea crop is fantastic. So if you think about this product, it's been there for over years. It's survived through the test of time, and we have been part of that for 320 years. But it's a fantastic romantic product. There's stories. It tastes well. It's good for you. So I think the change is mostly change around into regulation and compliance. We have to grapple with it, but it's a very safe product. So that's what we're here for. And I can't overemphasize. We have to maintain that quality, and that's the trust consumers and all our lovers put into the brand.
Now, I know you're telling me, Rishi, this is your first time in the Bahamas. From the limited things you've seen, can tea grow here? Can we grow tea?
It's an interesting thing. I was actually, I had the honor of meeting the Prime Minister last evening, which was fantastic. And he mentioned we grow tea here, Rishi. And I said, I haven't actually in my 30 years known that. So apparently it does grow there.
Did you know that, Duran?
Oh, I did not know that.
Not until last
Laverne?
So
not until last night.
This is news to me. So
Yeah.
where do we grow it?
I mean, bush tea, we know.
Right, we have fever grass and all that stuff, right.
But
Yeah. So just for when we say tea for scientific classification, tea for me is what is this plant species of Camellia sinensis.
Okay.
Now sometimes you might say I've got other botanicals, and you slap it with the name tea. So these are infusions. So I don't know what he meant, but it's worth investigating.
Okay.
But as for Camellia sinensis, it's a bit like wine, if I may just use the analogy for your listeners. It's on the terroir. So it's about the altitude, it's about the soil, it's about rainfall, it's about the skill of the producer, and it's about storage conditions. So all those things actually make that. But the thing about tea, I think this is very good for your viewers when I kind of go and educate people, is did you know whether it's black tea, green tea, yellow tea, pu'er tea, oolong tea, just name it. There's some white teas, there's so many varieties of tea. It comes from just one plant and from the leaf of the plant. Whereas the other bits, which sometimes consumers say it's tea, the infusion, so if you look at ginger, it comes from the root of the plant. Chamomile comes from the flower of the plant. Something comes from the stem of the plant. So that's the distinction. So what you could grow in Bahamas, we'll have to investigate.
Yeah.
But if the terroir and the conditions are right, tea should grow, and tea generally does grow in this part of the world very sparsely. The biggest producer nearest to Bahamas should be Argentina, which is in the southern hemisphere, and that's seasonal. So
Yeah.
the tea is either seasonal or non-seasonal.
That's fascinating. All right, so go on, Laverne. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we, excuse me, because we see a number of Twinings, products in the stores. So when we're looking at any of the products that says, you just because you said ginger, right? That's tea infused with ginger.
So that's just ginger.
Turmeric tea.
So if
that's
you got
just ginger. What about if we see some? It says sometimes you see turmeric with echinacea as a tea.
Okay, so that is not tea in technical terms. It's Camellia sinensis. Those are two different herbal materials. So you've blended two herbal materials with flavors. So the product which you have in the Bahamas is a lemon and ginger. So it's got citrus fruits, flavorings which are natural flavorings, and ginger, which is the root of the plant. So those are infusions in technical terms.
Right.
But in many countries, people just say everything is tea. So that's fine too. From my point of view, it's enjoy, or do you like it, and you savor the moment.
Right. Wow. So what are as a master blender, your do's and don'ts, things that you hate to see people do with tea? What do you say?
The most
Cream in it.
Number one thing is this is something. This is nature's gift. It's good for you, health-wise. It's got so many properties, and it tastes good. So give it the moment it requires. So. Most products are designed for 3 or 5 minutes, as you rightly pointed out there. Let it brew for 3 and 5 minutes. If I give you statistics of what's the average time in the UK we measure with our consumers sometimes, how much time do people let the tea bag sit in a mug?
Right.
It's less than a minute. It's actually less than 50 seconds. But you have designed this to give flavor, give you all the attributes over 3 minutes. So that's quite an important thing. So the first thing, when you put something in hot water, I'm talking about hot infusions, it gives color. And we say, oh, my tea's ready. How it goes. Right. So if you wanted everything, that's how. The number two very important factor is use freshly drawn water wherever possible. Once you have used the water, there's dissolved oxygen, and that does not actually disseminate the flavor.
Okay.
So if we wanted the full experience, do that. And in this part of the world, in Bahamas, you don't drink much tea with milk, I'm told. But add the milk if you prefer.
Some people do. Some people do.
If you do, add the milk to your taste later. Add the sugar later. But those are quite important things. The bit is that's also important is tea is there for a comforting drink. It's so utilize those 3 minutes of me time with your mug and the tea, I would say. So, and otherwise, make it the way you like it, drink it the way you like it.
I've heard that the British don't do this, but the Americans will leave the tea bag. I think a lot of us are doing that too. Leave it in the entire time you're drinking. Is that a no-no? Is that what do you make of that?
It's a question which I get asked quite often. So what I would say is, putting a tea for a long time does not mean that you're going to get more strength out of it or more color out of it. So there's a science behind it. It's where you get optimum. So the law of inverse proportion kicks in. So beyond a point, it actually begins to dip. So sometimes in black tea, we say you're going to get a stewing effect. So you're not actually having a very desirable effect. And the other bit is, why do you want a tea bag to be inside your cup?
Right. These are some of the things I learned from Rishi. Even growing up, I grew up on Twinings as well. I would reuse the tea bags. You're not supposed to do that.
I just was about to ask about that.
Right. So after meeting Rishi, I've known to not do that. So I have to leave the tea bag in for a certain amount of time and just try to enjoy it. So don't reuse your bags, everyone. I know that's pretty popular here in the Bahamas.
I'm going to tell my mom. I have to call her and tell her that.
Also,
can I say to you, though, that it was only maybe about, and I'm being honest, I was one of those, as soon as I saw the color, I took the tea bag out. And one night I was making some tea, and I just picked up, because I like, the different infused teas. Picked up and thought, I'm waiting for the water, and I'm to read the back of the thing, and it says to let the tea bag sit. like to let it steep before, just immediately taking the bag out. And I've been doing it since then. But prior to that, I was one of those, maybe a minute, if that. And I took the tea bag out.
I mean, it's just human nature, isn't it? But it was developed for convenience. We made it super convenient. But yeah, my earnest request is to try and do that for the time it deserves. That's very, very important.
Yeah. And I've noticed that there's a difference even in the taste and the flavor now that I've been doing that.
Wow. All right. So, what does the future look like with tea? Are we seeing changes coming? AI is affecting everything. Is AI going to be used in some way?
Yeah. So, in terms of the future, it's looking bright, I would say. So, the number one thing is consumers are becoming very health conscious. So, for something which has been there, as I say, a very romantic, very healthy product of tea and botanicals for over 3,500 years. It's very good. So if I looked at a simple cup of tea, if I Camellia sinensis, what's in it? At the most, it gives you hydration. So it's got 90% water. Wow, yeah. It's got lots of insoluble and soluble matters. It's got minerals and vitamins. Green tea has a very high content of manganese, which has got lots of properties. But above all, two things. If I just talk about black tea for a moment, it's both black and green tea have very high antioxidants or polyphenols. So this is good for you. It's good for your immunity, good for your body's defenses, and it's a very well-known fact. The second thing is it's got caffeine. So black tea and green tea both have differing levels of caffeine, from 30 to 60 milligrams for a 200 ml cup, and that's much less than a lot of other highly caffeinated drinks. Right. But what people are beginning to realize is I get that caffeine, but I don't get the jitters with tea. So it's got an amino acid called L-theanine. And what L-theanine does is it acts as a stabilizer for the caffeine. So you can have 20 cups of tea, still feel pretty good about life, and you don't get the jitters. So it's pretty good for you. So taking that in mind, people are getting more into tea drinking. We do see that in different parts, and of course there are different tastes. The innovation is the key. So how do we innovate to make this relevant? And that's what Twinings has been doing for the last 20 years. And you asked me about Bahamese teas. You can make one, but there is a format. So can you have tea as a sparkling tea? Can you reimagine tea as like, can I have my tea cold? I brew it hot and brew it cold. You mentioned the Americans. 85% of Americans drink iced tea. So I look at Bahamas, I think, wow, why am I having a hot tea at 40 degrees temperature? I can cool it down and have things. I can have a latte. So, I can have it in so many other formats. Matcha is becoming so popular around the world, but it's a powder. So I can ingest it and I can get the properties even much more. So tea can be many things to many people, and the future does look very bright. And we have a small part to play as a brand. We've been playing for 320 years. So if you kind of get familiar with it, there are lots of exciting things coming to Bahamas over time.
Wow. Running out of time, but Rishi, do you like iced tea? Do you drink iced tea?
I do, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, good stuff. All right, so Taran, tell us where we can find Twinings. It's in every store, right?
Right, good question. So here at Horizon, we service all the stores here in Nassau, including the Family Island. So you could go to Super Value, you could find some Twinings tea there. You could go to Budget, your local mom and pop store. So we're very much everywhere. So you could go on the side of your to the store on the end of your corner, you'll see some Twinings tea there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're trying to do some new stuff now, trying to introduce some new products to the market. Okay. It's interesting that you brought up iced tea, because Rishi just let me try some cold brew tea yesterday. It's amazing. So we're trying to introduce some stuff like that to the market, and I really think the Bahamian population would definitely receive it.
So I was going to ask you about that. With Rishi's visit, what will we see? Changes will we see here?
A lot of changes. We pretty much have the retail stores on lock in terms of like the tea presence. We're trying to get into more of the popular restaurants, the hotels, and all that stuff. So we're meeting with a lot of people whilst Rishi is here. So you'll see Twinings. You'll see a Twinings set up in your favorite hotel very, very soon. So that's the vision that we have. So we're trying to elevate the Twinings tea, because it's all about quality. So we're trying to have that presence in both the retail side and the hospitality side. And you never know. We might have some other stuff planned. So
you'll keep us posted, I'm sure.
Definitely.
All right,
definitely.
So Rishi, we got to hear this. What is your favorite tea?
Oh, I get it all the time, but I will answer it. I come from a very remote part of the world, but a beautiful part of the world, like yourself in the Bahamas, Darjeeling. So it's high up in the hills. It's a geographically protected area, and it's got the status of PGI status, just like Champagne and quite a lot of things. And it's exquisite. You got distinct seasons, and my favorite tea. And there is not one tea, I would say. Have to answer it. There are different teas for different parts of the day. It's Darjeeling First Flush. In the morning, I like a strong English breakfast.
Okay.
And then I switch to the infusion of rooibos. And in the night, I like peppermint and chamomile. So
that sounds
so,
good.
and that's just the beauty for working for Dwight for so long. As I got a bit of a Willy Wonka's world, so I can dive in and out as I like it. But I don't have an absolute favorite. But if you really pin me down, it's always Darjeeling.
Okay. I like that one as well. That is good stuff. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Rishi. Hopefully you'll be back here. Someone's saying we should make this a regular segment.
Definitely.
And sample teas.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Duran Burrows. Thank you, Horizon
Thank you so
Distributors.
much.
Thank you both for being here this morning. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your stay, Rishi Deb. All right. We're going to take a break. We've got the Chamber Hour coming up in business in just a bit. Stay with us here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I got to cover ground, you couldn't keep me down. It just ain't no good if the sun shines and you're still inside. Still inside. Still inside. Still inside.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, filling in for Duquesa Dean today. And it is time for our monthly Chamber Hour series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. As always, we're very pleased to have back with us CEO Dr. Leo Roll. But we also have with us Executive Assistant to Founder and Digital Media Group, Tiffany Clark. And we have Young Professional Society Membership Coordinator, Tristan Hanna, and Young Professional Society Membership Chair, Nigel Hepburn. Good morning to all of you. Great to have you with us. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
All right,
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Dr. Leo Roll. Got a full house this morning.
Yeah, that's right. You definitely do. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, so give us the overview. A lot happening this month and for the next few weeks. What can you tell us?
As you know, over the past few years, the Chamber has really gotten busy relative to events and some of the trademark or signature events that we've had. And so this year is no different. A few years ago, I think it was 4 now, our past chairman would have begun what is something that's near and dear to him, which is our charity Chamber Golf Classic tournament. And that will happen on July 19th. And so it's a 2-man scramble, and it allows for for me, more than the prizes, the camaraderie, and those deals and those handshakes that happen on the golf course. And so I think this is one of my premier events. I love it, absolutely love it, because it allows for persons to be able to have a level of discourse that kind of takes them out of the office. And so we encourage persons. A lot of businesses have been signing up teams, whole departments, and so I'm really excited to see what it brings and the opportunities that it has.
So, are you telling us, Leo, that you now are a golfer? You know how to play?
I am not.
Well, all that talk.
Yeah, I come. You ask the same question.
By now, you're supposed to have a different answer.
Yeah, I promised myself this year it would be a yes, but no, it's still a no.
Oh boy. Well,
do you play at all, Leo?
Laverne, I play all day. I will be out there supporting on the sidelines. I'll drive around in the golf cart, but I am not going to pick up a golf cart.
Everybody's laughing at you. Everybody's laughing at you.
Okay.
Not this year, I'll say. But Dwight, I promise you next year.
Oh,
he said the same thing last year.
You're right. He said the same thing last year.
Next year, I'll be a different answer to that question. Okay.
And I'm sure there's a chamber member who offers courses or something. No?
And Dwight, so many of the chamber members play, right? And I think it's just a matter of me taking the bull by the horn and staying in Nassau long enough to be able to learn.
Right. Okay. All right. So again, give us the details, how to sign up for it, who can sign up for it.
So it's a 2-man scramble, as I said. It's $250 per player, and a 2-man scramble simply means there are 2 persons per team, and you can sign up on our website, www.thebahamaschamber.com, or you can call the office at 322-2145. Now, the entrance fee allows you the opportunity to win some fabulous prizes. A cruise for 2, 6 to 8 night cruise for 2 with Royal Caribbean, and they've been our partner from year 1. You can also win a travel voucher for $1,000, a 2-night stay at Comfort Suites, and John Watlins is providing a mixology experience as well as a rum package.
Wow.
But what we've done traditionally, that allowance also gets you the opportunity for our networking and awards opportunity or branch afterwards. And this year we wanted to do something a little different. This year we are proudly sponsoring the Cancer Society. And so that's the charity that we've chosen to provide the proceeds to. But for our awards ceremony or our awards networking, we decided to do something a little different this year. So we're actually doing what we would consider an auction. So a charity auction. And what we've done, I'm so proud of it, we've gotten members to actually donate the items that are being auctioned. So we have things like windows, hurricane-resistant doors, $600 bottles of champagne. It is an absolute amazing lineup of things that we are going to auction.
Wow. All right. So again, do you have to be a member?
No, you don't.
You don't?
Okay. A member of the chamber to come to either or to sign up for the golf tournament or to come to the auction afterwards.
All right, that is fantastic. And July 19th, I'll be here sooner than you know it, right? Is there a deadline to sign up?
At present, no. I will say though, we traditionally have around 20 to 22 teams, and at present we already have 12, and so you can tell that time is limited.
Yeah.
And there are only a few spots left, and I know one of the banks usually gets 4 teams and they haven't signed up yet. So I know that within the next week or 2, I think all of the opportunities are going to be gone. But there's also an opportunity to sponsor. So we still have a couple of sponsorship opportunities. Our presenting sponsor hasn't been taken yet. We also have a silver sponsor, a beverage sponsor, and a contest sponsor, so Longest Drive. And so there are a couple of sponsorships that allow you an opportunity to be out there on the field, to also have persons see your business highlighted. We also have what we consider green sponsors. My personal business is doing those, and what it does is it allows for a banner to be placed on one of the 18 holes that brandishes your business, and it's always a good look because now persons who are on the field get to see your business, they get to see what you do, and you get business from simply that level of visibility.
Yeah. Okay, great stuff. Anything else you want to add about the golf tournament?
No. I just simply wanted to mention it. I'm sure next month we're going to come and talk about all of the exciting prizes, the winners. But I think this morning I just want to allow the young men and young lady that are in the room to be able to speak on some of the initiatives and events that they are having relative to their business, but also to YPS, which, as you know, Dwight, is one of the shining pillars of the chamber that we started about a year or two ago now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Dr. Leroy, thank you very much. I know you have to leave us soon, but thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for talking with us this morning.
Thank you, Dwight.
Okay, so 2 events coming up in just a few days, and both very exciting. All right, so let's begin with Bites and Business, the members mix and mingle. All right, so I guess you're going to tell us about that, Tivani.
Yes, I will. Good
Tell me,
morning,
sorry.
Bahamas.
Mhm.
I was supposed
You're
to
right.
correct you.
I'll get it.
Tehvoni. Tehvoni.
Right.
Hi, everyone. I am the executive assistant to Ethan Kwan, the founder and CEO of Lifestyles Digital Media Group, which is the fastest growing media company in the Caribbean. You can check that, right?
Okay.
So we have Bites in Business coming up. That is Thursday, the 25th. That is so close. I didn't even realize it until I said it out loud.
Next week.
Wow. So what it is, we are talking about CAD. What is CAD? CAD is the corporate communication system that Lifestyles Digital Media Group has. It is our premier product. So think of Apple and iPhone. That is what CAD is to Lifestyles, right? And CAD stands for Core Positioning, Authority, and Trust, and Demonstration. And think in the lens of media, right? So with Core Positioning, it says, who do you serve? What is it that you do? All of these good things, anything about your business, what makes your company unique. So think like brand stories, promo videos, just getting your message out there, right? Who you are. So then you have authority and trust, which is just your company telling their expertise and sharing it, right? So think executive leadership. You know, we come to your events, we catch you speaking. Like this was an opportunity that we could have done like authority and trust right here, right? Then you have demonstration, actually doing the thing. So with that, think webinars, actually vlog style content, showing you in your element so people could know, because, you know, being means is talk. Are they really doing that? So we actually capture all of that. So at the Bites in Business event, you get to learn more about CAD, how we can assist with your business. And what I didn't tell you guys on the flyer is that we have a free headshot session. So once you come in, you have the headshot booth. So make sure you come glammed up, pretty up, all of that. But we will have attendees there to take your headshots, and then you'll be able to get that in, I think, 2 days. So,
Okay.
It's a lot of exciting stuff.
Excellent event. And this is happening next week, Thursday.
Yes, it is. And you can also enter to win a free branding session with Lifestyles.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So who should attend this? Who needs to be there?
So anyone who's looking to, you know, expand their media presence, right? So in the Bahamas, we are kind of laxated. We're always 10 years behind. You know, back then it used to be like, oh, if you didn't have a phone number, you're not a real business.
Right.
Now it's like, you don't have a website, you're not a real business. If you don't have an active social media, you're not a real business. Because people are going on their phones now. They're not looking through phone books anymore, unfortunately. And we're trying
The
to
young ones don't even know what that is.
Listen. I only know what it is because I grew up like with my Grammy house, right?
on the end of the arrow.
Yes. So literally,
Like,
if
look at how they clowning on our age.
I see it. I mean, but they can do it because I haven't touched one in a long time.
Hey, what do you do? What do you do when
I-
you
you-
look up a business?
Definitely go online. Go on the phone. Go on the tablet.
Exactly. And a lot of Bahamian businesses, they are doubting how much media has. It's a necessity now. It's an essential. Literally, if your business does not have it. And we are trying to get people up to date. And people don't realize the power of media, too, because even if you have a good external, about the internal side.
Oh, wow. Break that down for us. What do you mean by that?
So internal content, right? It's more of content that speaks to the workers, your staff, your team members. When you go to a place, your team members are your first line.
Yeah.
When you go to the front desk, if you ask, hey, you know, tell me maybe your core values, your objectives, like what makes it so good. I telling you, some of these front desk people, they don't know what they doing. They didn't schedule us it. They don't know anything
They barely
about
know
the company.
the boss's name.
Right? And you have people in these positions who don't have anything. They feel a disconnect to leadership. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we make them understand and make your whole entire team unified? So that's what internal content does. That could be training modules, again, going back to the origin stories, because you need to be able to send your front of line people to events, to talk to representatives of different companies, or just bring in new clients because they're talking to them first.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And-
Lifestyles Digital Media Group can help you with this.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we hold your hand throughout all of the ways. So anything from scheduling, logistics, to the post-production, the editing, and even distribution. This is something new that we're mixing in the fold. So yeah, we are the best company,
Right.
and that's why the event is called the Kiat Advantage.
Wow. All right. So it's called Bites and Business Members Mix and Mingle. So do you have to be a member of the chamber to be a part of this?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is exclusive to members only, and it is a very good event to come to, especially for the members, of course. And Ethan is someone of all class. He's someone that knows about the media, has been in the field for quite some time. I can attest to that. My company SafePoint is a client of Lifestyle Digital Media, and I can attest that they are true to what they say as well. And I remember when I first went to communication school, when I went to college, one of the first things that they taught us was that the word media stems from the word medium. It sits in the middle between the person trying to buy whatever you're selling, if you're selling something or trying to hear what you say, and the person creating that message. And it sits right in the middle. That's the medium. And there's different styles of mediums, as there's different styles of media. And CAD media is a great strategy that I think a lot of people are not aware of. And I like what she did. She gave us just a little bit of the important pieces. You ever watch like a series and like right when it comes to the exciting part, it ends.
Tune in next
and then
time.
you have to tune in next time, right?
Yeah.
That's
You
exactly
gotta purchase. You gotta purchase the whole
Right.
thing. The rest of it.
Yeah.
right. And so to hear the finishing statements of what she was trying to say will be at the event, and I strongly encourage our members to come out to that event. And Ethan is also my director brother, my chamber brother, who sits on the board of directors with me as well. So definitely come out to that event.
It's going to be great. All right. So next week, Thursday, give us the times and what people who are members need to do if they want to be a part of it.
All right, so we will be there at Crypto Isle next week, Thursday, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be cocktails, food and beverages, mix and mingle. What was the second question, by the way?
So if you're a member, can you just show up or do you need to sign up?
You need to sign up. So you can go on our social media or you could go on the Chamber's website. There's a jot form there. Just sign up, RSVP, and you're good to go.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. Yeah. At the end of the night, what can people expect? What can they say they guaranteed to walk away with?
Definitely you are going to leave with just knowledge of, number one, the industry and how we shape or how media is going in the direction when it comes to corporate communications. So a lot of people, they know the business side, and you have people who are doing many jobs, wearing many hats.
Yeah.
So this is very beneficial to professionals, even people who are growing, what to expect and how you can get your message out there or attract the right type of clients, because you don't need to cater to everyone. You're going to find the right people. We're going to assist with that.
Wow.
So it's going to be a real training session. And then again, you're leaving with free headshots. So, yeah.
That's a good benefit there. All right. So that's cool. And one more time, remind people date, time, and how to sign up.
All right, so we will be at Crypto Isle on Thursday, the 25th, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you can sign up on the Chamber's website. Follow the Chamber's socials or Lifestyles Digital Media Group socials. Look at the flyer, and you can click the link, and it'll take you right to the RSVP.
Okay. Tevany Clark.
Tevany Clark.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, Tristan and Nigel is on with us.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Morning,
Okay.
How you doing?
Great to have you with us. So tell us about this. Just a couple of days later, there's another big event with the Young Professional Society. Remind everybody what the Young Professional Society is all about. If you listen to the show, you've heard them on before. But for those who might not be familiar, remind everybody what YPS is.
Okay, so YPS is a new initiative from the Chamber. So what it is, it's designed to actually capture young Bahamians, young professional Bahamians between the ages of 22 and 40, with the opportunity to actually be get in at the foundation level of the chamber. So they receive basically all of the benefits of the chamber, but they have an organization to themselves where they learn how to network. They learn how to actually give presentations, be in the room. They learn how to kind of polish the business as they move forward, but they don't necessarily have to be entrepreneurs. So they could be leaders in their field. We have persons at BPL. We have persons in the nursing industry. So it's actually kind of the breeding ground for young professionals. It gives them a space of like-minded individuals to be able to create their own and benefit from the chamber and working along with the chamber to take either their business or their profession to the next level.
Okay. All right. So that is great. Now, what is this event going to be about? What are you hoping to accomplish here?
Okay, so YPS Day, like Leo mentioned earlier, YPS has been established. It got established about a year ago, and it happened organically. It was the brainchild of the chamber, and they put a few persons together to form the executive, and it was actually about a year ago. So we decided that we would do a YPS Day specifically for the members. Now, normally we get invited to these different expos. Persons want to ask questions about YPS. What are the benefits? What is it actually? So on June 27th at Access Accelerator in the One West Plaza, we're going to have a YPS Day.
Wow.
And that is going to showcase just the YPS members themselves. So it will give persons an opportunity to actually come in, speak to members. The members are going to showcase their businesses. They're going to have their business cards. And then persons that are interested can actually speak to these members and see what it is that they're offering and see the diversity of YPS and just having the chamber behind it. So we have a member one of her businesses is cosmetics and products. So she was actually able to go to the trade mission in Turkey a few months ago. And then also there is the Young Professional Academy that's in Turkey. They do it once every year. And we have another member that was actually selected for that and will be attending to that. And Tristan can speak to that because he was the benefactor of last year's Young Professionals Academy trip to Turkey. So it's actually a week trip with international young professionals and future leaders. And it's pretty much a course. And I know Tristan could speak a lot more about it than I can because I wasn't able to go. But Tristan not only is a director of the chamber, but he works along with us. So that gives us like that youth drive and what's missing and the bright ideas and what they expect from us. So we pretty much work for the members to get them where they need to get. And like I said, Tristan can speak to Turkey a little better than I can.
Yeah, Tristan, tell us some more about that.
Well, I wasn't the one to go to Turkey. Actually, we sent somebody else because at the time I was actually in China. And
oh boy, it's a great problem to have.
Yeah, a wonderful problem. But we ended up sending somebody else, and I'm happy for that because it spreads the opportunities across YPS and helps things to be less of a one-sided initiative. And what I've heard from him was that it was very eventful. It was very informative and futuristic. A lot of those events abroad are very, very healthy because a lot of the people that are teaching those courses or a part of those conferences or forums have great connections. And actually, what happens sometimes is when you get to know those guys abroad, when their friends in the Bahamas that are here, that are a bit older than us, the youth, they call back and say, hey, you know that guy Tristan, or you know that guy Nigel, or you know that guy that is a part of YPS? Yeah, he is really good. Like, make sure you do whatever you can in your favor to make sure that he gets where he needs to get. You know, and sometimes that's all the recommendation that you really need.
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes from abroad. So so YPS actually helps you to get abroad. And there are many opportunities as well. And we have a lot of great members. Like Nigel said, the initiative is pretty new, as we would describe it. I would describe it as a toddler right now. It's just getting off the ground. But Brunique Poole, she's the owner of Taste the Flavor Ice Cream, right? And she actually did a speech as well at the Caribbean Development Bank Forum that was just
a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Or maybe last week even. And so we have YPS professionals that are doing that thing across the country. O'Shea Raman, she's the founder of Cocoon, which is a developing research and climate change initiative that she has started as well. And we have a lot of the one thing I must say about YPS is that it's very diverse. There are like you said, nurses, doctors, lawyers, accountants, and like you said, it's not a place where you have to have a business. You can just be a human and join, and that's actually the difference between YPS and the chamber.
Right.
When you try to join the chamber, you need a business license, and we have to make sure that everything is in line with all government agencies and that you're in good standing before we accept you and send you your certificate. Versus YPS, you don't need a business license. You can just join as Dwight, the radio host.
Right.
And YPS is a great initiative because it also gets the Dwight Strachan of the accounting world and the nurses world and put them all in one room and say, well, how can we make all of our professions better?
Right. And again, YPS 22 to 40, right?
Yes.
So
Yes,
Laverne, I missed out by like a year being a part of this. A year,
Yeah, Dwight,
a year and a month, maybe.
And I know your birthday was a few months ago.
My math might be a little off, but that's okay. All right, so is everybody going to be at YPS Day, all of you, or is it too late to have a booth? Or tell us about how the setup is going to be on June 27th.
All right, so the setup is going to be, like I said, it's going to highlight and showcase the members of YPS. So like I said, normally we get invited to expos and we have one table just generally with YPS. Either myself or someone else from the executive would be there. Some of the members would be there as well, just answering questions about what is the program, what it does, what are the benefits. So on June 27th, we're actually kind of reversing that. So the expo is going to be showcasing the members themselves. So it's not going to be anyone from the outside. So persons can actually come in and see the diversity of YPS and what it has to offer. And some of the members will be speaking as well, just letting persons know what the benefits are personally, so you can actually dive into a live in-depth story. It'll be live where they're giving you their testimonials. There'll be a live testimonial, and then you can actually see and talk to some of the persons with their business. So this is what YPS is doing and what we're going on. So it actually shows persons that, hey, listen, you can actually come in and you can be, like Tristan mentioned, you can be an accountant. So now in YPS, you may decide that you want to start a business, but your books aren't together. So you actually have someone in your age group who you probably can relate to, who can break down the information a little better to you, to get you where you need to get. So now they get some practice in. So when it's time for them to build their accounting firm, and you actually build these relationships just like the chamber, but at a foundation level where you can actually learn subtle nuances of that. And with YPS, we do once a month educational speakings where we have various persons come in and speak to the members on certain things. So we've already had Randia Coakley come in and speak to the members on branding. We've had Angelo Butler come in and speak from CFAL, come in and speak to the members in regards to, as young as they may be, putting together pension savings for pensions, how to invest properly, all of these different ideas and things that they would need as young professionals to get them to the next level. So the 27th, it's open to the public. There is a jot form that they can sign up, RSVP, and they can actually come in, meet the members themselves, see their different businesses, see the variety of members and the diversity, and actually now you can speak to the members themselves in that in that in that area, in that arena, and then get the information that you
No.
need.
Any
And then
cost for the public to attend?
it's open to the public.
Okay.
It's open to the public. It's free to the public. And once they get in there, like I said, we have the introduction of the members. The members would have their booths, and then afterwards, then it'll be like a meet and greet, and they can actually walk around, go to the different tables, vendors, speak to various members who would have their business cards, flyers, different things like that. So they can actually, it's pretty much the YPS Expo, but we coined it the YPS Day because we want to give our members the opportunity to actually showcase what it is that they're doing at the same time to garner some more light on the YPS program from the chamber.
Fantastic. So is it everybody's already reserved their booths, all the members? Is it too late to do that, or still opportunities for members to get a booth or a table?
No, the members have already been, the members are aware. They've actually been, a lot of them are excited the ones that need a booth have already requested one and said what they're going to need from us. And we've already put that in play. So now it's just persons coming and showing up. But the members are excited. They're getting this, and this is a part of growing their business where they go now and they get the flyers, they get the banners, they get these different things to actually highlight the business. So when these opportunities arrive where they have to go into a room, they know how to set up, they know how to actually have a conversation with persons and engage with the customers or persons that they want to sell their products to, or actually sell themselves for what it is that they're doing.
All right, so we know it's the 27th. Give us the time and location.
All right, the time is from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Access Accelerator at Prime at One West Plaza. That's right where Prime One Steakhouse is, and Kaima, all those right there. Yes, sir. Access Accelerator in the One West Plaza.
Great stuff. Looking forward to all of these great events. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all. I got one more question, and I'm not hung up on the age thing, but I'm just very curious. So if you hit 41, are you kicked out of YPS? How does that work?
Nigel, he heard Nigel.
No, not necessarily.
You heard bad, Nigel.
Because we do depending on what the skill set and what can be offered and what we can work with. We kind of make exceptions. There's Dr. Roll has given us some leeway, and Dawn has given us some leeway to make some executive decisions.
Okay.
On what would be
There's
beneficial.
no exception for you though, Dwight.
No, it's too late. The ship is sailed. The ship is sailed. Yeah.
Dwight,
absolutely sailed for you.
Dwight, we may need a mentor in media.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
That's
an opportunity there. So,
I see.
That's your way in.
Yeah, so we create those avenues for the members because, like I said, you have all these other organizations that have kind of like their junior, the I wouldn't say the lower tier, but the junior organizations, which are kind of the breeding ground and the molding to get them to the next level. So for YPS, that is what we are doing. We've actually made some exceptions. Young man that is 21 years old. And he is actually a contractor. His father's a contractor.
Wow.
His father-in-law is a contractor, and they encouraged him to start his own business. So we made the exception because he's 21, and we see the potential that he has. His own company has already started a few small projects. So YPS is kind of like perfect for him when he got in. We already got him going to various events, whereas expos. So once YPS is invited to an event, we encourage our members to come out as well and to get exposure and to learn the subtle nuances of working the room per se.
Great stuff.
And then, like I said, the various members are diverse. We have two persons that actually do digital media. So we encourage them to work along with one another to actually, you don't have to go to a big media house. You may not have the money to start to actually get a shoot for your TikTok or something to post online, you can reach out to the members, and then you actually, like I said, you actually build those relationships.
Okay. All right. Wonderful stuff.
And then persons older, like yourself, Grant, we may send someone to you. We may ask you to come in and speak as well for them to decide maybe a career path, the ups and the downs. So we are looking for mentors as well, and also to
Good
be
for
able
you,
to place.
Yeah, I love that. No, seriously, Nigel, I love that for Dwight to come in as an older person.
Wow.
Wow.
The old guy.
I didn't say it.
Veteran, geriatric. Okay. Well, that sounds great.
Veteran news media.
Right. Well, this is wonderful stuff. Tristan, I guess, where can we get more information about all these things with the Chamber?
For sure. You can follow us on our social media platforms, the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, the Employees Confederation, of course, that's what we are, but, we don't have to cut the name short on social media platforms. Right. And so that's where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as well. We update those pages as soon as things come out, and you can also find us at our website as well. Okay. And definitely YPS, any youth listening to this, I would say to please actually come out to that event. It's free. It doesn't hurt. And it's the time to start building your personal team. And a lot of those people will grow with you, and they'll be by your side. And right now, when you're young and we live in the Bahamas where the opportunities are endless, you want to be surrounded by people that are making sense and actually are trying to go somewhere. That's what YPS is. I would say definitely come to that event. And definitely chamber members come to the CAD event for the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. All right. Tristan Hanna, Nigel Hepburn, and Tiffany Clark with Lifestyle Digital Media Group. And, of course, Dr. Leah Roll, who had to leave us. But thank you all for being here this morning. Really appreciate it, and great stuff that you're doing. We're going to take a break and be back to wrap things up. Our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, maces, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Your next win is waiting right now at islandluck.com. The quicker you can play, the quicker you can score, and the quicker you can win big. From casino games to sportsbook action and lottery excitement, it's all just a few clicks away. Sign up today at islandluck.com and get in the game instantly. Island Luck. Join the winner's circle now. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity.
We're good for you.
Not all water is created equal. Consider this. You've got many sources of drinking water at your disposal, and they seem like viable options. But are they? Now consider this. Quenching your thirst with water that's perfectly pure. AquaPure water has been tested and proven to be perfectly pure. If quality matters to you, reach for a bottle of AquaPure. Be sure, AquaPure.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Pharmacies are advising customers that drugs on the National Prescription Drug Plan are out of stock due to a wholesaler shortage. Owner of the Prescription Parlor Pharmacy, Laura Pratt Charlton, telling Guardian Business that after a flyer over the weekend notified her customers that certain prescription medications were out of stock, the flyer was produced for patients, informing them that the drugs are not available. She says the pharmacy shortage, the list is long. You can read about that in today's NASA Guardian business section. Pratt Charlton explained that her pharmacy buys from a large list of wholesale medication suppliers and has been in contact with all of them, but up to Saturday, only 2 of the medications outlined on the flyer were in stock. A local water sports operator is warning that a recent U.S. Embassy alert on jet ski operators comes during the summer months when 40% of jet ski operators' annual revenue is made from mostly U.S. tourists. Director of Business Development and Marketing at My Own Water Sports Limited, Astrid Charlton, saying that the latest warning highlights a core issue that threatens the tourism industry and national reputation: the absence of a clear, enforced distinction between responsible, compliant operators and those who endanger visitors and established Bahamian businesses. She says that without this distinction, the industry remains exposed. The challenge resurfaces every incident or advisory, showing the urgent need for a coordinated plan. She says without it, businesses and the country's reputation remain vulnerable. And while acknowledging continued economic and fiscal progress in the Bahamas, Fitch Ratings Director of Sovereigns for the Americas, Joshua Grundleger, telling Guardian Business that Fitch does not view a sovereign credit rating upgrade as its baseline expectation over the next 1 or 2 years, citing a moderation in post-pandemic growth and a more challenging global environment. His comments coming as the Bahamas continues to benefit from strong tourism performance, improving government finances, and declining debt ratios, factored Fitch's recent decision to maintain a stable outlook on the country's sovereign rating. And the country has benefited or has been identified as home to the largest concentration of climate-resilient reefs, coral reefs, in the world, according to a major international study that found that the Bahamas contains more than 32,000 square kilometers of reef habitat with the strongest potential to survive and recover from climate change. The research, which was unveiled recently at the Our Ocean Conference in Kenya, identified 165,922 square kilometers of climate-resilient coral reefs globally and found that the Bahamas alone accounts for 32,105 square kilometers of those priority areas. That was according to a joint statement from the Wildlife Conservation Society, World Wildlife Fund and the Nature Conservancy. According to the study, researchers determined that more than half of the world's climate-resilient reefs are concentrated in just 5 countries: Australia, the Bahamas, Cuba, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Overseas, a tentative deal to end the Iran war makes it reasonable to ask how soon prices will drop for gasoline, groceries, airline tickets, and other items that got more expensive during the conflict, but experts are warning not so fast. Even after oil starts flowing again from the Middle East, it could take a while for consumers to see a difference at local fuel pumps, supermarkets, and other places they shop. According to economists and industry analysts, fighting over the Strait of Hormuz disrupted not only supplies for crude and refined fuel, but also the supply chains for fertilizer, food, and even footwear. Businesses expect higher costs to linger, which means their customers might need to prepare for that too. If following news of the tentative agreement, oil prices fell Monday to about $80 for a barrel of U.S. benchmark crude. That compares to $67 per barrel before the war, and the price of over $120 a barrel reached after the conflict. Refineries typically pay for crude oil a month or more in advance, so even after oil prices drop, they won't immediately be processing cheaper products. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. No trading in the local market. The BISX closing it with 3,231.86, up 0.30. That's your market watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAO, growing wealth for future generations. Laverne Gardner, thank you so much for being here on a Tuesday.
Pleasure.
We'll miss you on Thursday, but we'll talk with you again next week. Next week, Thursday. If you still want to pop in, that's up to you.
Okay.
Don't hold your breath, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I just said okay.
I hope you have a wonderful day and a great week.
You too.
I'll talk with you again soon. And I'll talk with you again soon, listeners. I'll be back tomorrow morning with Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.